from the University of North Carolina School of Media and Journalism, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
What's up, Tar Heels? Welcome to this Friday's edition of Sports Extra. I'm Kennedy Bird.
And I'm Nick Perlin. Let's get right to it. The softball team was in the midst of a 4-game losing streak going into Wednesday's game against Elon. Make it 5. All of the scoring happened in the 3rd inning. Elon put a couple of doubles together, including this shot to left field to get on the board first as this Phoenix runner avoids the tag at the plate. The Heels put one up on the board off the heads-up play by Abby Settlemeyer taking second base so that Destiny Middleton had the chance to score. The rest of the game was a pitcher's duel, and Carolina couldn't find a way to make it around the bases again. The Heels dropped their 5th straight, 2-1.
The women's basketball team has also hit a major rough spot, falling for the 6th game in a row last night. The Heels got off to a slow start, struggling to score in the first quarter, but saving the game with this layup from Shayla Bennett, who finished with 17 points. Carolina kept the ball moving for open shots like this clean mid-range jumper from Taylor Coonan. She led the Heels with 19 points. Here, Medina Muhammad curls to the top of the arc to knock down the three-pointer. The Tar Heels fought to make a comeback in the second half with strong finishes like this and one from Coonan. But the Irish handed Carolina yet another loss, 83-65. Following Thursday night's loss, UNC is currently the 11th seed in the next ACC tournament. If the current standings hold through Sunday's games, the Tar Heels will face 14th seed Clemson in the first round. The winner will play the next day against 6th seed Boston College.
Headed into the postseason is Carolina's wrestling team and is ranked 7th in the NWCA poll. The Heels finished a record of 14-3 in the dual meet challenges. The boys in blue posted a .823 winning percentage this season, the highest single percentage since 1997. Austin O'Connor posted an undefeated dual meet, including a 5-0 record in the ACC. The first UNC wrestler to do this since the 2012-2013 season. Kennedy Monday also posted a 4-0 mark in the ACC. The Heels started 17 different wrestlers throughout the season and used 8 different lineups. The Tar Heels will hit the mat on March 8th at the 2020 ACC Championship in Pittsburgh.
After day 2 of the men's swim and dive championships in Greensboro, the Tar Heels are in 6th place, with many of their best events to come today. The Tar Heel men will compete in the 100 butterfly, 400 individual medley, 200 freestyle, 100 breaststroke, and the 100 backstroke. Tyler Hill is expected to do well in the 100 fly. Demetrio and Thomas Sangali are also seated high in the 200 free, and Tucker Burhans has a high seed for the 100 back. You can watch for live updates on the UNC Swim and Dive Twitter and Instagram pages.
There are some exciting matchups on the schedule for Carolina athletics this weekend. The undefeated women's tennis team will take on Virginia today at 3 p.m., followed by gymnastics versus George Washington at 6:45. The Diamond Heels begin the Cambria College Classic tonight at 8 against Minnesota, and the track team competes in the ACC Indoor Championships on Saturday at 11. 2 huge road matchups for the lacrosse teams, starting with the top-ranked Tar Heel women, who will be headed to Virginia to battle 6th-ranked undefeated UVA tomorrow. The top-ranked Tar Heels have some advantages against the Cavaliers. Katie Hogue hopes to continue her dominance this weekend and looks to take down little sister Riley, who plays for the Who's. Jamie Ortega and Scotty Rose Growney have also been scoring big goals for Carolina. But UVA won't be an easy opponent. Attacker Summer Mueller is leading the Cavaliers with 15 goals on the season. Defense and offense will need to be in full force on Saturday for the Heels to win their first conference matchup of the season. The men are headed to Denver to take on the Pioneers. Last game against St. John's, Carolina exploded offensively, scoring 17 goals. Chris Gray led the way with 8 goals on only 9 shots. He was in beast mode. The Heels also put 31 shots on goal. UNC will need to continue this offensive output against perennial power Denver. Look for the Heels offense to run through Chris Gray and Tanner Cook to keep the winning streak alive.
Is it possible the men's basketball team, which only won its second game in 9 tries Tuesday night, can follow up the victory against NC State and get on a roll headed into the ACC tournament? Possible? Yeah. Probable? That's a whole different matter. The Heels head up to Syracuse tomorrow, trying to get their first back-to-back win since January. The 'Cuse has a lot of motivation to defend the home court. The Orange are in a battle with Notre Dame for the 5th seed in the ACC and are just on the outside of the NCAA tournament bubble. A home loss to UNC would be hugely detrimental to Syracuse's tournament chances. Elijah Hughes is the player to watch out for, leading the Orange in points and assists per game. Buddy Boeheim is another name to remember, as a coach's son does a whole lot more than warm the bench, shooting 38% from the three this season. The UNC volleyball team has announced a new recruit for the 2020 squad. Sydney Reed, the Virginia State Gatorade Player of the Year, is an outside hitter and libero. The incoming freshman's list of accolades doesn't stop. 2019-2020 VISAA State Player of the Year, Prep Volleyball High School All-American, Senior National Player of the Year, and many more. Reed also practiced with the USA National Training Team. Expect her to bring a top-notch level of skill and success to the Heels lineup.
American football is hard, but UNC students are playing a sport on campus that might be even harder. Our Jessica Winblot has more.
Contact sports for women are few and far between, but these UNC women are breaking stereotypes and entering that male-dominated realm. Meet the UNC women's rugby team, a D1 club accessible to any UNC woman who wants to get involved.
So I started rugby my freshman year. I heard about it at Fall Fest, and there were just a lot of girls screaming, and so it got my attention, and me and my best friend were like, oh, what's that? We want to try that.
In spite of the difficulties of recruiting players who are completely new to the game, the team and coaches alike are prepared to teach a new class of rugby players season after season.
So the coaches do a really good job of introducing us to the physical aspect of sport, making sure we know what we're doing physically, so that we're not injured out there. And there's a lot of us who don't know what we're doing when we start out.
I was absolutely terrified of playing once I saw the first practice, because the first practice they just had me watch all the contact and tackling, but then they were so supportive. They taught me how to tackle correctly, how to fall correctly.
The UNC women's rugby team is opening doors for women to try their hand in a sport that historically women haven't been able to participate in.
I think rugby is the closest you will see to a woman being able to get super physical in sports. So just continue to try to expand the game itself and expand it to not only men but women and then girls too, in the high school level. I think UNC is a good place to start. It's really cool to see how it's still alive. The team is still going from then, and what we can continue to build those people's legacies on.
These Heels embody the value of perseverance, and they continue to strengthen their game as the season pushes forward. In Chapel Hill, I'm Jessica Winblot reporting.
You know, Nick, I might have to join the rugby team. I have a pretty fast 40-yard dash.
Well, I don't. I've never played real football, and that looks even harder. So, yeah, that's all you. That's all you.
Okay.
Well, that does it for this week's Friday edition of Sports Extra. Tune in with us on Monday.
See you then.